Hey y'all, welcome back to Mr. Guns and Hunts. Today we're going to continue doing 30-06 load development. Today we're going to be doing the overall length testing. I know in one of the previous videos we were going to do the powder node first, but instead I got to thinking about it. I want to try something different with my load development. I want to try to find overall length first, then find a powder node. So today that's what we're going to do. We're going to be using the Federal 210 primers. We're going to be using the same 150 grain interlock soft points. 308 caliber, of course, and we're going to be using some Superformance as well. Now, we're going to start off by using an overall length of 3.242, and we're going to work all the way down to 3.215 for the ogive measurements, which is the one I'm really worried about. We're going to start from 2.630, and we're going to work down in 0.03 of an inch increments all the way down to 2.603, as you see up here on the screen. And this is, of course, once fired Remington brass. This will be its second firing. And we're just going to go ahead and get to it, start the primer. We're going to pick kind of a middle of the road charge today. I could pick all the way from 56.4 grains of Superformance all the way up to 61.4, which is annotated as the max load in the Hornady 11th edition manual. So I didn't want to do something that was down the middle. Our last testing we started at 57 grains and worked up to, what did we work up to? We can go ahead and grab it here. We worked all the way up to 59.7. So we're going to go ahead and just use 58.5, which is going to be the number 6 load charge that we're going to try. So we've already thrown the powder and seeded the bullets already for the powder testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the overall length in this test, and once we find which overall length works the best with the best jump, what we're going to do then is find out which powder charge works best. And how I'm going to do that after finding the overall length instead of wasting all of these, which are all at 3.245 overall length or 2.633 is what it is for the ogive. I can go back and I can actually just seat them down further. So that's what I'm going to do. Once we find the overall length or the jump to the lands that we like the best, we're just going to go ahead and knock those down to whatever we found worked best. Whatever overall length node, and as we talked about with the nodes, I like working down in 0.03 of an inch increments because it'll find a node like you're going to find 2 or 3 smaller groups in a row. Like when you put it up on a chart or a graph, you're going to see up, 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 down, up, down, up, down for size groupings, and then you're going to hit a plateau of 0.06 of an inch increments or 0.06 inch window or range, you could say, that shoots the same grouping size per se. So with that, that's what we're going to try to do, and with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Gotta make sure these guys seat in here all the way. Make sure they're going good. So I think you guys know how to prime. I'm just using, of course, I'm using my press as the priming tool today. I have the hand priming tool, but my hands just don't like it that much, so I use my press. Just drop them in here and put them down, call it a day. I think you guys have seen this process a time or two, so we will see you next at the powder throwing step. Alrighty guys, now for the fun part. Let's put these 150 grain interlocks in some pieces of brass. here. using the Hornady custom grade dies today with the micrometer on the top. And let's see how well these guys do. Pretty curious to see if I can get this consistent today. Alright, we'll start off with 0. Alright, we're going to shoot for an ogive length for this first row of 2.630. That's what we're going to shoot for. So, just in case, I'm going to back off 0.10 of an inch just to start with. I'm going to see where I'm at, run a couple, and take a couple measurements. Should be good to go. Let's take a real quick measurement. Alright, so we are at 2646. So let's go down 15 thousandths. 5, 10, 15. See what that one says. Alright, it looks like I guess I went too far. Alright, so good thing 2.7 is the second row over. So I'll just go ahead and swap locations on that one. And I'm going to give this one another shot just to see if that one was a fluke. Yep, it was. So this one is 2.630. Right where we wanted to be. I'll take that, 2.630. Alrighty. So this is where we're now just going to start working down. We're going to do sets of 5, working our way down 0.03 of an inch at a time. Alright, what's this one say? 2.67. 6.9, 2.6. Make sure I got that on there straight. Okay, 2.630. It's on there straight. Maybe I just measured this one weird, or brass is uneven, or something. Make sure I got that on there straight. No, that one's showing a bit different. Okay, now that I have it right, yeah, I'm 3 thousandths off. Well, good thing these are all the exact same powder charge. So, is this one off too? Yep. Alright, so I need to go up 0.03 of an inch. But, I guess we can go ahead and finish off this second row. And then we'll pull it back up 0.03 of an inch. There we are again. I mean, 1,000th. Be alright. Be alright for what we're doing. I'm really excited to see how these perform. Yep, 2.67. I'm liking it. Alright, now let's back off 0.03. Alright, that should be pretty close. All right, Dash Money, we are on. All right, so now once I get this set of 5 done, I'm gonna go down to 624, 621, and so on and so on. Next time I see you guys, it will be talking about the load data that we achieved. See what size groupings we get, and go from there. See what we think, and then hopefully we get a good standard deviation just right off the bat with this 58.5. I hope it works out pretty good. At least I think it will. I haven't done the Federal 210 primers with Superformance before. If you have, let me know what you think will happen. Alright, folks, welcome back from the range. And the results are a bit disappointing and a bit inconsistent. Of course, it's an old 1970s rifle. It's a Woodmaster 742 semi-automatic, so innovative for its era, but yet nonetheless old. And I guess we shouldn't expect too much from it. We'll be posting up on the screen here, zoomed in, measurements, and all that good stuff. I was talking about in the beginning, trying to find a node, and I want to say maybe we found one of 2 in a row, but nonetheless, the results are very underwhelming. The best grouping we shot today was a 1.34 MOA. Which I mean is good for how old that rifle is. It's a 5-shot grouping, staying within 1.5 inches is good. The second best we got was 1.67 MOA. And we had one that was 1.5, 1.6, 1.3, and 1.8. But none were touching or close to each other besides the 1.3 and 1.8 MOA group. And unfortunately, I also did the powder testing as well. I'm going to include that in this video. The results are just absolutely awful. And I mean awful. The best standard deviation I had was from a 5.8, 58.5 grains of Superformance. And our standard deviation was 19. And what's very unfortunate is I redid that test, the powder charge test with it, and I didn't get the same results. I'll post up a little chart up here, just some numbers, just for you to see. I did the step test is what I ended up doing because my chronograph ended up getting low, so I didn't get to finish doing all the 5-shot groupings. So what I did was I just took one shot from each load, all the way from 57 grains all the way up to 59.7, and the results, post them up here on the screen. Very, very horrible. I'm gonna have to change something here. Nothing about this is linear. When your results come back looking like the stock market, all up and down, moving all the way up to over 2 grains, there's a problem. Especially with some of them that I did get to do the 5-shot groupings. When I have a standard deviation of 100, tells me that primer powder mixture not meant to be, is what I'm getting from that. So we'll go ahead and take a look here at, I'm going to call it Group 1, which was the 3.242 overall length. It ended up shooting 1.5 inches or 1.580 MOA, which, out the gate, I was like, heck yeah, that's exciting, taking a look at it. That was pretty good. And then the next three groups, next two groups, 2 and 3, horrible. Half of the group didn't even end up on paper. It was so bad. It ended up going high. I should have got a bigger target. That's gonna fall on me. I should get something bigger, piece of cardboard, and change up my targets. I got a little spooled with Creedmoor, and I could use these targets, and I had 0 issues. I should have lowered my expectations going into today. But the next decent group was Group 4, which was 3.233 overall length. It ended up shooting 2.368 MOA at 100 yards. So, not too shabby. I guess that's what you kind of expect from an old rifle. Moving on, though. Group 5, which ended up shooting the 1.670 MOA. Pretty awesome at the length of 3.230. I'm alright with that. This is just a hunting rifle, and I'm not shooting past 300 yards with it. But even with shooting at 300 yards, even though I'm shooting decent groups, about an 1.5 inch group, I still want that standard deviation to be at least below 20, at least, to reach out stuff. Within 200 yards, sure, standard deviation of 50, it'll do the job. Anyway, I just expected better. Group 6, 3.227 overall length. Pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. It was pretty bad. Shooting at 3 MOA, essentially. I mean, I shouldn't even put that on this chart, but look at this. Some of them were worse than that. So yeah, moving on. And then let's take a look at Group 7 here. We ended up shooting really good. This was the best group of the day. Super excited about this one. This one gave me some hope. We ended up shooting 1.341 MOA. Turned out fantastic. I liked it. Really good. It gives me some hope. And then moving on over to Group 8, which was at 3.221 overall length. We shot 1.8 MOA. So, I mean, that tells me within 0.5 of MOA, maybe that is our node. Maybe that's its sweet spot in there between 3.224 and 3.221 overall length. Maybe that's just the sweet spot for that, so maybe we can go out and retry that one. I don't know. And then lastly, Group 10, which was 3.215 overall length. 2 MOA, man. I guess that's what's to be expected. But I would expect that out of factory ammo. I'm really hoping to stay under an 1.5 inches. I originally thought maybe I could shoot inch groups with it, or I say inch groups, 1 MOA with it. But I don't know if that's in the cards for this rifle. I do want to give it another shot. It's been frustrating. It's partly why this video's been taking so long, but it's frustrating. I expected better. I'm not too sure if it's just the primer powder mixture that's the issue, or overall length, or just flat out the gun does not like this bullet. I know this gun shot better before than the worst groups on here, of course, just using factory ammo. So we'll take a look, try something else. Maybe we'll move on to Sierra, or maybe just to get our hopes up and see if this gun still has some life in it. Maybe run some match rounds through it too, just to get some small groups out of it, just to say we did. And I also do want to change projectiles. I still want to finish this video or this series out using some 150 grain interlocks. But I think moving forward, even scrapping the rest of this powder testing, the powder is just so inconsistent, as you'll see in this chart once again. It's just so terrible. There's not going to be a node there. There's just not. Everything was super inconsistent. And I wouldn't recommend using the Federal 210s with Superformance shooting 30-06. At least not with this gun. Maybe it works for somebody else. Maybe someone can show me some of their data that it worked out well for them, and I hope it does. But I'm not too sure what powder I want to use next. I might even just, I don't know if I want to scrap them both completely. I might give it one more quick test. We're going to pick our favorite overall length, and then we're going to, maybe we can just do 10 shots, work up a load, and maybe see if we can find a ladder. But if those next 10 shots give me just horrible data like I got on this ladder test, I think we're going to scrap the powder and primer. But I'm going to try using Magnum primers for the next ladder test instead of the Federal 210s. We'll use the WLRMs. We'll use 10 of them. See if we can come up with something better. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking with me in this video. I know it's been taking over a month now. Please forgive me. It's, hunting season, Christmas season, all that good stuff. So I've been busy with the family, been busy in the woods, had a successful season, and I look forward to making the next one. I think I might take a break from 30-06 for a minute just because it was so frustrating, and maybe do some 6.5 Creedmoor videos because 6.5 Creedmoor just shoots amazingly well for me and it tickles my buttons. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.